Hey Tarot Tubers, how are you all? I'm here today to do a video response to Kasia at Tarot Map. And Kasia says that she was doing this VR in response to Robin at Toadstool Tarot and Strength from Tarot. And the video I want to do today is called Major Favorites. And so I understand what you are to do is to go through your decks and pick out your favorites for each of the majors. I did not do one for each major. I did multiple for each major. Hope that's okay, and that it isn't considered too cheating. But anyway, let me start off. The first card, of course, is the Fool. And the first Fool that I'm bringing forward is from the Delta Enduring. And I really like this because it has the elements of the Rider-Waite-Smith with the dog and so forth. But I think it also alludes to the older tarot idea about the Fool. So like Tarot de Marseille and those kinds of decks, where the Fool was considered a fool. And so here we see this guy. He's going to go swimming in the Mississippi River. And it doesn't look too clean. There's an oil refinery and an oil barge right there. And his dog is on the shore saying to him, "What the heck are you doing, you fool?" So that's one way to look at the Fool, as the person is actually a fool or doing something foolish. But then we know there's other ways to look at this card as well. And this is the beautiful Fool from the Lightseers Tarot by Kasia. I think this is a gorgeous card. And here we see the Fool in this case is just ready to let go and trust. She's completely trusting of the universe. It's not so much that she's a fool or that she's being foolish. She just is innocent and she's ready to let go. She sees that sacred geometry pattern, and that's giving her a message from the universe that it's safe to just let go. Another version of the Fool that I really like a lot is from the New Era Elements Tarot. And we can see here the Fool is a fetus still inside the placenta, and not yet born, but boy, just about ready and ready to go on a grand adventure. So this is sort of representative of the Fool from the New Beginnings, New Adventures sort of way of looking at it. And then one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Fool cards is from the Gaian Tarot, and this is called the Seeker. And again, we can see that similar theme. Here she is, she's off on a new adventure. She's just letting go, trusting the universe. She has a little sack with her and a walking stick and her faithful companion. And she sees an inviting path ahead, and she's ready to take the leap of faith and go off on a great adventure. So the next card is the Magician, and I'm really loving the Magician from the Modern Witch Tarot. It is straight out Rider-Waite-Smith, but modernized, and we can see again all the elements are there at her disposal. She has the tools she needs to get the job done. She's got her wand pointing up to the sky, and she's pointing with the other hand, so as above, so below. So we see that that is the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith version of the Magician. This is from the Delta Enduring 2, and here we see the Fool, the Magician in this case is magically cooking up something from maybe nothing. She again has all the tools she needs, and in Delta Enduring, cast iron skillets is one of the suits, and so you can see here she is with her tools, and she is making magic in the kitchen. This is from New Era Elements, and this is a little bit of a different take on the Magician. It's called the Magus because this is a Thoth-based deck. But here you can see this guy is kind of a trickster, a huckster, a shyster, a hustler. And you can see that he is selling us all a bill of goods, hook, line, and sinker. And I would say he's not to be trusted. I love this Magician. This is from Prismavision. And this reminds me of Alfred Hitchcock. If you are my age and you remember watching Alfred Hitchcock as a kid, there was this silhouette of him in his show, and this is what this reminds me of. So that's why I like it so much. On to the High Priestess. Here we have the classic Pamela Coleman Smith version of the High Priestess. And you can see here, this is the Radiant Wise Spirit version. I love the colors in this. But here we see the High Priestess, the woman of mystery, calm, cool, collected, telling us to listen to our inner voice and trust our intuition. There's a lot of watery imagery and lunar imagery in this card. This is a gorgeous High Priestess. Oops, from the Star Tarot. Look at her dress. So it's really cosmic. We have the Maiden Mother Moon imagery, Maiden Mother Crone imagery of the three phases of the moon. Her gown is made out of stars, and I just think this is a gorgeous card. Another one I really love is by Lisa de St. Croix, Tarot de St. Croix. And again, that similar Crown of Isis imagery. This is from Wildwood, and this one is called The Seer. And I love this idea of the High Priestess as the Seer. Beautiful card. From the Gaian, the Priestess, beautiful. And then another one of my favorite versions from Next World Tarot. Here we have the Empress. Next we have the Empress. And again, here's Pamela Coleman Smith's classic version of the Empress. I really love this one. I recently was watching a video by Anna, Astral Tarot Lady, I think it is. And she was talking about the Empress. And she was saying that she really wasn't a fan of the Empress cards that just showed the Empress as the Great Mother, or as the mother, and pregnant and fertile and abundance and so forth. And I agree with Anna about that. The Empress is an Empress. She's a ruler. She's strong. She's ruling her empire, just as the Emperor is. And to only focus on that mother side of her, or that reproductive or fertile side of her, is missing a big part, and I think is too bad. So look at this woman. Does she not look regal and strong and like she could rule an empire? She is. She may have a more loving hand than her male counterpart, but there's more to her than fertility, for sure. This is from the Modern Witch again. Yeah, look at her. She is regal. She is strong. She is magnificent. This is Tarot de St. Croix. Beautiful imagery, more on that mothering side. But again, this woman looks regal. And yes, she's a mother, but she's also a ruler. This is the Green Woman from Wildwood. And the Empress from Next World. Beautiful. Again, she looks strong and powerful and determined. And I think that this next one is my favorite Empress of all time, from the Tabula Mundi Tarot. Again, she's strong. She's a ruler. She's got the moon, so she's got that sacred feminine, the strength of the sacred feminine behind her, but there's nothing that just says motherhood about her. She's strong. She's a ruler. And just to speak to what Anna was saying, I like it when the Emperor and the Empress look like a royal and regal team that can rule together like they are in the Star Tarot. I think this is a magnificent Emperor. And I think this is one of the reasons why I had to get this deck, which is the Marielle. He's strong, he's powerful, he's wise. He will rule from a place of wisdom and strength and power. Look at that face, look at the eyes. This is from Sacerobito, a more modern take on it, on the Emperor. I think this one's got a little, gave me a little chuckle when I first saw this New Era Elements deck. We see the Emperor on his throne, Abraham Lincoln, and this, I think, is a lovely Emperor from Lightseers, and you can see he's sitting on the planet Mars that has sort of been turned into his throne, and the Emperor card is ruled by Mars and is associated with the astrological sign of Aries. I was never a fan of the Hierophant just from the Rider-Waite-Smith imagery. I really felt resentment and dislike for that card, and when I would pull it in a reading, I would interpret it that way. But what changed my mind about the Hierophant were two decks. First, the Gaian. Joanna calls the Hierophant the teacher. And look how kind and wise this being is, sitting among nature, the big, huge redwood tree with the animals behind and plant spirits all around. Dandelion, comfrey, yarrow. I think that's nettle and garlic. And then also this one, Tarot de Saint Croix. Lisa had the Dalai Lama. And so what a different kind of a teacher than the imagery we see on the Rider-Waite-Smith, that more Christian iconography. This I absolutely love. This is the Hierophant from the Delta Enduring, and look at that. You see? Oh, he's got this kind face as he's talking to the congregation, but look at what's really important to him. Two-faced. He's looking at that collection plate. This is the Hierophant from, Julia Cuccia Watts, Ancestral Tarot. Why do these things escape me as I'm doing videos? And you can see this looks to me like the Oracle of Delphi. And it's got a feminine take on the Hierophant. Here we see a joyful teacher who has based themselves in spirit and is a kind and loving teacher or Hierophant. And from the Wildwood, we see the Ancestor. Beautiful card. The Lovers. I love this one from Delta Enduring. You know, there's passion and heat, and you can feel the steaminess of the climate, but also that's going on between these two lovers. This one I love from New Era Elements. We have an older couple and the family tree that they have spawned behind them. Love that. This shows a lot of energy from the Sacerobito, and this one I think is fabulous from Next World. And this is really more about self-love and acceptance, the way I look at it anyway. Chariot, just have two of those, and to me the Chariot is about movement and forward motion and energy, going forward and controlling and reining in and having that energy work for you and with you. And so I love this version from Modern Witch. And then this is from Wildwood. And again, you can see that energy and that power and controlling it. The Strength card from Ancestral Tarot is our classic woman and lion. But I love this because they're power with, their strength with. It's not strength over or power over. And I love how she has the clouds forming the lemniscate over the woman's head. And I love that beautiful face of that lion. Here's a similar interpretation from the Star Tarot. And you can see in this case the lemniscate is right on her gown. Gorgeous, gorgeous strength card from Mary L. And again, we have this vision or image of a woman with the lion. And you can see that they are in accord with each other. They give strength and they gain strength from each other. There's no power over. It's power and strength with. Delta Enduring, and from Modern Witch. This is, again, more like the Rider-Waite-Smith imagery. Hermit, my card of the day today. Beautiful, beautiful Hermit from Prismavision. There's the Hermit on the bridge overlooking the water with the beautiful full moon. From Delta Enduring. This is from Modern Witch. And in this case, we have a female hermit, as we do in Lisa de St. Croix's deck. I think this is an absolutely gorgeous hermit from the Star Tarot. And again, originally back in, I'm not sure if it was the Italian decks or the Tarot de Marseille. I'm not really a tarot historian, but I know that the hermit was looked at sort of as Father Time, and I think this guy kind of fits that bill a little bit. But he's wise, he's got wisdom as he stands there up on the mountaintop. The Wheel, not one of my favorite majors generally speaking, but I did manage to find several versions that I really love. I think this is really my favorite. Joanna Powell Colbert in the Gaian Tarot has the wheel portrayed as the Wheel of the Year. And so rather than look at this as your luck is changing or I'm on top of the world or my luck is going downward, it's just, to me, reflective that change is something that is always present with us. Just when you get adjusted to one season, the wheel turns and we're in the other season. And so to accept that change is part of our world. Tarot de St. Croix, Sacerabido, beautiful from the Ancestral Tarot. And I love this one with the roulette. So this is about, you know, the luck of the draw, the wheel turning. And again, this reminds me more of the Wheel of the Year from the Wildwood Tarot. Justice, La Justice from Sacerabido. Will the heart weigh more and turn this scale on its side, or will it be as light as a feather? Gorgeous, gorgeous from Marielle. And so when I think about the Justice card, this is from Next World, this is how I think of it, more like this. And my favorite Justice card, here we have from Delta Enduring. Oh, I love this card. This is what Justice card is for me, and justice for all. It's not so much about the law, it's about what is just and what is right, and how is it that we can act in a way that brings justice forward in our planet. This is the Mirror, which is the Hanged one from Wildwood, and I loved this from Ancestral Tarot. Beautiful imagery. The Death card. So beautiful. And Chris Ann, this is from the Lightseers, calls it Death Rebirth. And you can see that captured. So beautiful. One of the most beautiful, moving death cards ever from Sasarabito. And this one, I think, is stunning and moving and speaks to me. I just recently experienced the death of my quite elderly mother, and this card really, I thought of this card as I was going through that experience. Yeah. And a beautiful death card from the Star Tarot. I only have one Temperance card, and it's Pixie's version, and I just love it. I love all the symbolism. You could look at this card and path work it for an hour, and you wouldn't get to all the symbolism and imagery in it. It's just gorgeous. The Devil is a tricky guy. Here we see from Delta Enduring, and in this case, who's the devil? It's the police. This is from Prismavision, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but when you first look at this card, you think, how can that be the devil? But there's a little black snakes crawling along that pathway there. I always talk about this card from New Era Element, and I think it is so, so powerful. And it speaks about the devil in terms of greed and capitalism and fascism, and how the actions that we have on one side of the globe affect the other side of the globe. Or the devil can be this smooth dude. Or from Next World. And this says, justice is not blind when silence equals profit. So when silence equals profit, that's the devil, right? Tower. Such a different take on the Tower. So this is sort of like, you can see that that is shaky ground, and if we wait just a little bit, that house may go crashing into the water. But this is sort of the moment right before the tower falls. New Era Elements. And then I love this tower from the Star Tarot. You can see the lightning is striking, and it's really powerful. But there at the bottom, when the cataclysm is over and the rubble has settled, what is there? The dove of peace. And so after the shakeup, after everything falls, we'll find our peace as we rebuild. Another pixie image. I do love the star. I'm a star strength for birth cards, and so I am partial to those two cards. But Pixie's done a lovely job. Here we see Lisa Sturles from The Modern Witch. Very similar. The Pole Star from The Wildwood. This is Lisa de St. Croix's beautiful imagery. Newt. Joanna's from Gaian. And here she is sipping from the cool waters of the spring, health, healing, hope. And finally, the Marielle star card. So gorgeous. Beautiful. So the Moon card. This is a card that I have talked about many times on my channel and in videos. And Anna from Astral Tarot Lady talked about this in her recent video. And we were on the same similar page. I do not see the moon the way the Golden Dawn sees the moon. I think it's misogynistic. I see the moon, to me the moon represents the divine feminine, the sacred feminine, cycles, the power and attraction that the moon has with water, how we go through the cycles every month or every 4 weeks. And so this to me is a beautiful card reflective of the sacred feminine, as is Tarot de Saint Croix. This is also, I think, a beautiful moon card. It invokes to me the sacred feminine aspect of the moon, from Wildwood, and this is from Delta Enduring. And you can see there we see the cycle of the moon above her head. Another beautiful moon card from Next World, and this is how I feel on warm evenings, on a full moon. I will, and even cold evenings, I'll go out and just soak it up, commune with Luna and the sacred feminine. And Julia Kuchia Watts, I think, this is one of my favorites. So peaceful and beautiful, and peaceful but powerful. I love these from the Next World. So this is I love how she's done sort of the yin and yang. So we can see nighttime, darkness, kind of restriction or constriction, and yang, bright, warm, fiery. And we have the moonflower and the sunflower. Beautiful. This is a lovely sun card from Next World. Judgment from Marielle. And so here the dragon is trumpeting, and is it's a reawakening, a new awakening, a new day. And here we have from Guyan, and it's called Awakening, the name of the card. And finally, last but not least, I hope I did not choose too many cards, we have the World. This is called the World Tree from the Wildwood, and I love that with the labyrinth. And you sort of started with the Fool, and you've walked the path and gone on the journey, and now you come out and you're at the World Tree, and you're ready to begin your journey again, back at the beginning. Beautiful World card by Stasha Burrington from the Cesarabito. Love the Guyan. And last but not least, my favorite World card is Lisa's from Tarot de Saint Croix. So what are your favorite majors? Maybe you could narrow it down to fewer choices than what I managed to do. But thank you to all those lovely ladies, Kasia at Tarot Map, Robin at Toadstool Tarot, and Strength from Tarot, for starting this great tarot tag, Major Favorites. Peace, be well, joy to you all.